In this video, we're going to be talking about the First Home Owners Buyer Grant, which is a way to get a lump sum payment from the government to put towards your mortgage. The First Home Owners Grant is a government incentive to get first home buyers into a house. It is a one-off payment to eligible candidates ranging from $7,000 to $20,000 depending on what state you're in Australia. And there are some rules that come into play which I'm going to discuss. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to use the state South Australia as the example, but I will provide information on how to look up the eligibility criteria for every state in Australia. In South Australia, there is one overarching rule which you must follow in order to get the grant, and that is to purchase or construct a brand new home, a home that has never been lived in by anyone. So how much is it worth? What do you actually get with this government incentive? In front of your screen, you can see each state and the maximum amount that you can qualify for if you are planning to apply for this grant. Tasmania has the highest $20,000 and the ACT has the lowest $7,000, but it ranges from $7,000 to $20,000. For the South Australian example, I've put it in bold because we're using that throughout the video, which is $15,000. It's a pretty nice sum of money to assist if you are planning to build or buy a newly established home. So like I said, for South Australia, how do you qualify? So qualifier number one is that you or your partner cannot have owned a house for more than 6 months after the year 2000. You must be an Australian citizen or permanent resident. The market value of the actual property that you're buying or building cannot exceed $575,000. So if you were building a brand new house, it was going to be $700,000. You would not qualify. And once you do build it, within the first 12 months of building or buying the actual property, you must move into it and live there for at least 6 months. One question that is commonly asked is, can I get double the amount of the grant because there's me and a partner? And short answer is no. The grant only applies to the actual property. The grant actually comes off of your loan straight away. You'll never see that money. You can't use it to buy furniture for your house. It just literally comes off of the fees when you start signing contracts and when you start paying for your actual house. And like I said before, it's different for every state. So here it is. I've put all the links to each individual state below, as well as the overarching website, which links you to all of them as well. Starting here will give you the top level view of what information you have access to. When doing your research to actually buy a new home, I would also come to this website, not just for the First Homeowners Buyer Grant, but also for other information, as you'll see in a second. So I'm going to go into South Australia as it's the example we're working with. We're looking at the First Homeowners Buyer Grant, so I'm going to click on more info here. And as you can see, there is just an influx of information. Scrolling down to the First Homeowners Buyer Grant, you'll see a lot of the topics that we've covered, plus links to more information and an actual eligibility criteria checklist. This here will ask you a series of questions which you can answer anonymously, and it will spit out an answer basically saying, are you or are you not eligible? And once you've filled out the checklist, it will pop up with a little pop-up saying, based on your responses, you either are eligible or you aren't eligible for the grant. If you are, and it's something that you're seriously considering doing, or you're just looking for the information about how you could maximize your deposit for a house, this is a great way to go about doing that. Because if the stars align and it all falls into place and you're actually looking to do this specific method of buying a house, you will ultimately result in getting a handout of cash for free from the government with no side effects for just doing a little bit of extra research. So good on you. In conclusion, this is going to be the start of a series where I start talking about housing a lot more and how to go about looking for the right house for you and actually acquiring a house. I've done it myself. I've gone through the process and I feel pretty confident in my ability to explain it to people. So hopefully video by video, it starts painting a picture of all of the things that you can do in order to maximize that deposit, reduce how much you're going to be paying to a bank in repayments, ultimately paying off your loan faster whilst living in the house of your dreams, or even just having a roof over your head, which is very important. But for now, this has been a quick explainer on what the First Homeowners Buyer Grant is. I hope it was useful and I will see you in the next video.